The man had just opened the trunk when he suddenly felt that something was wrong behind him. Jack quickly turned around to check, but the eggs in his hand accidentally fell to the ground. Just as Jack bent down to pick them up, he was shocked to find that the eggs, which had just cracked open on the ground, were instantly cooked. Before Jack could figure out what was happening, the hard concrete ground in front of him began to crack open continuously. Moments later, a bright red natural gas pipeline burst through the surface. Terrified by what he saw, Jack quickly shut the car door, jumped into the driver's seat, and slammed his foot on the gas pedal, but only moments after he drove away. The gas pipeline could no longer withstand the extreme heat and exploded instantly. At the same time, the surrounding ground collapsed, and blazing flames erupted violently from beneath the earth. In just an instant, a massive tornado of fire formed and devoured all the surrounding houses. Yet the danger wasn't over. The skyscrapers on both sides of the street began to collapse one after another. Jack could only press harder on the accelerator, praying that the buildings above him wouldn't come crashing down. He sped forward desperately, dodging the flames erupting from the ground. Just as he was about to be engulfed by the fire, he managed to escape at the very last second. But when he looked at the car's dashboard, he saw the shocking number 135 degrees Fahrenheit. Without time to think, he jumped out of the car and looked toward the city ahead. He couldn't believe it. In just a moment, the blazing fire had devoured the entire city. However, this was only the beginning of the disaster. At the same time, in another city, hailstones the size of rocks suddenly started falling from the sky. Pedestrians who didn't have time to take cover were knocked unconscious instantly. Soon, the hail grew even larger, forcing everyone to run into buildings for shelter. But they didn't know that an even greater catastrophe had already begun elsewhere. Brazil was suddenly struck by an intense cold wave. In an instant, the massive ocean waves froze solid. By the time people on the beach realized what was happening, it was already too late. The freezing air swept rapidly toward the shore, turning those who couldn't escape in time into ice sculptures. Even airplanes flying at 30,000 feet had their engines frozen by the cold current, sending them plummeting straight to the ground.